Викторович. Так называемый коллективный Запад во главе США на протяжении десятилетий ведет себя в отношении России исключительно агрессивно. Если этот самый Запад хотел спровоцировать конфликт для того, чтобы перейти к новому этапу борьбы с Россией, к новому этапу сдерживания нашей страны, то можно сказать, что это в известной степени удалось. И война развязана, и санкции введены. В нормальных условиях, наверное, трудно было бы это сделать. Но на что хотел бы обратить внимание? Они должны были бы понять, что уже проиграли с самого начала нашей специальной военной операции, потому что ее начало означает и начало кардинального слома миропорядка по-американски. Это начало перехода от либерально-глобалистского американского эгоцентризма к действительно многополярному миру. Запад, который некогда декларировал такие принципы демократии, как свобода слова, плюрализм, уважение иного мнения, сегодня вырождается в полную противоположность, в тоталитаризм, включая цензуру, закрытие средств массовой информации, произвол в отношении журналистов. Сегодня мы слышим, что нас хотят победить на поле боя. Ну, что здесь скажешь? Пусть попробуют. При этом мы не отказываемся и от мирных переговоров, но те, кто отказывается, должны знать, что чем дальше, тем сложнее им будет с нами договариваться.
To say it's G0 because we can't get together, is it at least G7 now? Because the G7 seemed like they actually were together.
G7, absolutely. And this was a response to the Russia invasion. This is a very different summit than any of the G7s we've watched over past years. It wasn't about the bilaterals. It wasn't about the communique at the end. It was a crisis summit. And all of the attendees responded to that crisis. And one thing that we can say is that they all have the same basic view. They're all doing everything they can to support the Ukrainians, and they're doing everything they can to punish the Russians. Now, for some, that's politically and economically more damaging than others. And for some, support for Ukraine means more economic support and less military support. But the alignment for the G7 and, of course, the alignment for NATO, and here including Asian allies like Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, all of whom unprecedentedly were in attendance, there's no question that what Putin has done over the last 4 months has built a much stronger coalition of advanced industrial democracies around the world to ensure that this does not stand.
Much more powerful coalition, but both meetings, G7, NATO, I dare say, had an audience of one. It was Vladimir Putin. Did it make any difference to Vladimir Putin? Is it going to change his behavior?
I think it's going to change his behavior. I think it's going to make him more aggressive towards those countries. I mean, he's not going to leave Ukraine. That's pretty clear. So, I mean, if the intention of the sanctions is to force him to back down, he's not backing down. If the intention of the sanctions is, given that he doesn't back down, that you are going to severely punish the Russian economy structurally, and that you're also going to send a message to other countries around the world that this kind of behavior won't be tolerated, and that the Ukrainians don't suffer tragically in vain, I think that message is being sent. And you see that NATO is expanding, that their rapid deployment forces are going to go up within 1 year from 40,000 to 300,000, that the Germans are spending 2% of GDP going forward on defense. These are all messages to Putin, not just symbolic messages, but they deeply undermine his own sense of security. And I expect in the same way that he has ratcheted down the gas that's being provided from Russia through Nord Stream 1 to Germany, you'll see other steps that are made by the Russians, like on cyber attacks, espionage, escalation, disinformation attacks. We may not be talking as much about Ukraine in 6 months' time. We will be talking a lot more about the Russia confrontation with NATO.
And whatsoever you shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If ye love me, keep my commandments.